without fail, someone will say, you just play games all day. And I wish that were true, but it isn't.
My name is Tom Hegarty. I am the co-studio head and founder of Roll7.
I am Jimmy Tyson-Smith and I'm a writer at Roll7.
My name is Dahi Monday and I'm a senior technical artist at Roll7.
My name is David Jenkins and I am the head of QA at Roll7.
So when I tell people that I run a video game studio, they assume that I play video games all of the time.
Oh, so sometimes this is sort of a misconception. This is the thing that sometimes I get, which is if you say that you write for games, people very often will be like, oh, like code. And I'm like, oh, no. I know what that is, but I couldn't write that. That's programmers. But so then it's like, oh, writing is the dialogue. And then normally they're like, oh, okay, sure.
A lot of people have misconceptions about the games industry as a whole.
I would say that rather than misconceptions about my job, most people just don't know what it is a technical artist does. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, we all kind of do different things. We're very much molded by the environments and the projects that we work on. And so you'll find different technical artists are strong and weak in really, really different areas. And I mean, I could have an entirely different overlap of skills to another technical artist if they were here.
But QA in particular, without fail, someone will say, you just play games all day. And I wish that were true, but it isn't. Certainly the more senior you get, obviously there's a lot of administration going involved.
A video games business is like any other business. There is finance to look at, there is legal to look at, and I do a lot of those functions in business development. So no, I don't just play video games, although I wish I did.
It's not just playing games. There's a lot more to it than that.
So my role as studio head is to ensure that the company and that the games we're making are aligned and we're on track and we're all working towards the same vision.
Yeah, I mean, mainly what we do is problem solve in a creative space, and we help the art team do their job and make their life better, and that's mainly what we do. Which is great. I really recommend it.
It's super varied depending on like what stage of production you're at. So at some points in production, it's very research heavy. So I'll be predominantly like going to the library, getting books out, like watching like films, playing games, like reading books, like just basically consuming different media or even like factual information and putting together like storyboards and notes and things like that. So there's kind of that aspect of it. A lot of it is sitting in meetings with other teams like design and art and sort of understanding what their needs might be from narrative and how narrative can serve what they're doing and vice versa.
There's a lot of communication with different departments. My week is, I don't know, probably about 40% meetings with various teams about various things. I actually quite enjoy the meetings, that's fine, I'm not complaining about it. But there will be days, sometimes even weeks, where I don't pick up a controller. I haven't even installed the latest build. I just don't have time because I'm doing other things.
Writing actual like dialogue for levels, or I might be writing like a lore bible, which is not going to go directly into the game, but is more for internal use for people to be able to go like, you know, whatever, I don't know, are there fish in this world? Let's go and look it up in the lore bible. Yes, there are. Great, we can put those in art or whatever, like that kind of thing. And then there's bits of it where I might be working, like doing little character descriptions to send over to concept artists who are then going to begin to sort of draw them up and have them kind of realized as art. Like, it's very, very varied depending on where we're at in production, basically, yeah.
We do a lot of research, we do a lot of feedback, we do a lot of engaging with the other departments, but we also get to do a lot of other fun stuff. Like I mentioned before, I'm the voice of Rollderdrome, as Simon keeps calling me. I got to lend my voice to some of the radio announcements in Rollderdrome, initially as a placeholder thing, and then after doing some interviews and trying to get somebody else to do it, eventually they kind of went, this is actually kind of just better, should we just use that? So that was good fun. And as I said before, I also got to help write and sing a sea shanty, because why not? So yeah, we do get to get involved in a lot of fun things that aren't just playing the game.
Challenges that we faced on OlliOlli World and Rollderdrome. The main one would be that we tried to make those both at the same time.
Managing and working with a team who had never met before, because we started just as the pandemic kicked off back in March 2020.
So building in a team of people who mostly had never met each other. I did actually bring in 2 people from previous places of work who I knew that they'd be able to hit the ground running. But as a general rule, I think it took about a year and a half before I met basically anyone at Roll7. And so that was very different as an experience.
Just employed a whole group of new people, and we were trying to get them aligned. We wanted to coalesce around a vision. And that was a real challenge because we weren't able to do that in the normal way, like you might hear and just sit down and have a cup of tea or go out after work. So we really had to have sessions that would happen normally organically. We had to kind of orchestrate and manage those organic sessions to make sure everyone was aligned with one another and knew where to go.
The biggest thing with the most recent OlliOlli expansion pack was we set out writing it, and the concept was that it was going to be set underwater, and we got a little way into it. Was a few months into production, and we had like a pivot for various reasons. It was like kind of I'm trying to remember now what it was. There was a bunch of stuff with like kind of art and like the level design and all sorts of things. So it was basically like decided it wasn't going to work to be underwater, and we were going to put it in the sky instead. And we had just done like a bunch of research into all sorts of underwater things, and we'd been setting up this sort of nautical theme, and we had like a ship and a crew and stuff. And so we were then like, oh, okay, we're changing all of that. And like I feel like at first, we were like, oh, we're going to have to pivot. And I was like, oh, no, there's like all of this stuff we've done. And like, how are we going to change that around? It's going to be really quick. And then we were like, you guys know like Treasure Planet, like Larklight, like skyship stuff? So we just put it in the sky. It was great. It was perfect. It was basically the vast majority, I think, of the stuff we did where we were just like, oh, it's like a fantasy setting. So we can just have it be skyships and it's sky pirates and it's so much cooler. So it actually worked out super well.